a little bit off. Wasn't but heard his name. Watched him play a couple of games with Leeds earlier this year.
What about your side, Craig? How close are you looking at?
Yeah, we're pretty close now, Steve. We had a good session today, so probably narrowed it down to about 18 players. So we'll train with those 18 next couple of sessions, and we brought 21 over, so there's 3 guys that have missed out, and we'll make the decision on the other one tomorrow.
Cameron, does it feel different to be coming to play here at Headingley, which is a rugby league ground, as opposed to Eleanor, the football ground?
Oh, it does a little bit. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually had the opportunity to play Headingley. A lot of tradition here, and obviously you've seen the cricket ground. It's pretty impressive. So I know all the boys are really excited to be over here and be able to play, against Leeds at this place. Although we've had some success at Allen Road, we know it's the same size pitch. We're playing at night. It's going to be a pretty intense atmosphere, but the boys are excited about the occasion and looking forward to getting out there on Friday.
Have you played before?
No, I haven't. No.
Brian and Craig, do you know the situation with the shoulder charge? Is that going to be outlawed for this weekend, or is it still in? Do you know?
Well, obviously it's banned over in Australia. Frank was telling me, the footy man was telling me on the way over that there's a bit of a debate about it at the moment between countries or whatever. At the end of the day, whether it's someone just needs to make a decision, we go with it. But I imagine it's we've got no problem whichever way they go, as long as they just make a decision so we know what's going on. So like I say, we haven't had any part in that debate. So as I said, whatever decision they make, we're fine.
Right, thinking, Brian, that if it was banned now, you'd be in favour of that?
I don't know the problem. Without going too deep into shoulder bars, I don't think we manage it well. I don't think our discipline would manage the shoulder bars on wrong to make it clear. So if they can't do that, just ban it. I don't think it's big. I don't think it's such a significant thing in our game. I don't think it goes down a lot. But when it does go on, you're going to kill some bloke nearly. So if you can't manage it properly, just get rid of it.
Cameron, there's a bit of debate about the workload on players, and they're talking about maybe expanding this competition in a couple of years, and there's talk about nines and all that sort of stuff. What are your thoughts on all that? Do you think there's room to expand the World Cup show?
I'm not too sure. I think it's a pretty touchy subject at the moment, particularly in Australia. And someone told me a couple of weeks ago that if I stay fit and I'm playing most games, we'll be close to playing 40 matches this year. So it's hard. And I believe the World Cup final is on the 30th of November. So if you're involved in that game and you get your 7 weeks off season that you're meant to get from each of your clubs, you're coming back at the start of February. So I don't know. We just got to be careful trying to add in all these new competitions and new matches, because the way the game's going at the moment, in the NRL and in the Super League, it's getting faster and faster. Guys getting bigger and stronger, and it's taking its toll on players. So if you want to see the elite players in the game for a long time, then I don't think you want to be tampering too much with workloads and adding games here and there. And maybe it needs to. If the nines are introduced, then something else has to give. Maybe the Indigenous game, but the All-Star game that we play is a great concept, and all the players down in Australia love being a part of that. So you just can't keep adding games onto the season. It's too much to ask of the players, and I think at the moment we've got a pretty good schedule now.
Kevin, I saw you guys have a bit of a grin. 40 games is a normal year over here, isn't it? Do you feel it is too hard on the players, or?
I think the concept that's been put forward is just 3 NRL teams and 3 Super League teams. So I think you'd still only play 1 game. I think it's a great concept. It could take us to any part of the world and sell the league. I'm all for it.
And obviously going to Australia finally after there hasn't been one in Australia since 1994. The English players really look forward to that, don't they?
Yeah, they would, I suppose, in many ways it's seen as the ultimate challenge, so we'd have loved to have gone over to Australia this time. Logistically, like Cameron said, fitting everything in is difficult, but because of the schedules of this country and the NRL, has to be over here at this moment in time, so it'd have been our second choice here, and we'd love to go over to Melbourne.
Craig, 3 years ago you played a warm-up game against the Broncos and it seemed to benefit you. Did you decide not to do that this time, or did you just not?
Look, it was a bit hard there at one stage. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened, but I know our club was in talks, negotiations with the Broncos to play another trial down there. But it just didn't happen. Like I said, you have to talk to someone else in our club, but it all got a little bit too hard to manage and get organised, so we decided to play a trial at home before we come over. But we certainly would have preferred to play a game here, without a doubt. I think it's a really good experience for our younger players, but also it just gives them a bit of insight into the conditions that we're going to be playing in on Friday night.
Craig, how far, if at all, behind the 8 ball will this trip leave you when you play the Dragons in round 1, do you think?
Again, it's not easy, Steve. But as I was saying out there to Gary, like at the end of the day, some clubs probably don't look forward to coming over here. Some clubs have won the competition, but we do. We think it's a great experience for our younger players, especially to come over and play over here. But it's also a great life experience. A lot of them, haven't been over here before. So we certainly look at it in a real positive light. Having said that, the travel certainly knocks your preparation around. It takes a lot of training days out of your calendar. So, because again, you can't sort of train or do too much. A couple of days before you get on the plane, you can't do too much. A couple of days after you get off the plane. So that's both ways. So it does take an effect of your preparation for the start of the competition. But we know months before that this is happening, so we can prepare and do things that we think is going to lessen the, I suppose, the effects of the travel, and also playing over here in different conditions. So, like I say, but we really enjoy coming over here, and we'll worry about the first round when we get back.
Cameron, you touched on it. There's a World Cup final in November. How conscious are you personally of the big year this is for you as well?
That's probably on the back burner at the moment. I'm worried about this Friday night and going out and playing well for the Melbourne Storm, and getting the club off to a good start, if we can. But certainly, being aware of how big this year is and coming off a pretty solid year last year, with Origin commitments, and we had a test series against New Zealand, and then playing in the grand final. It was pretty taxing, but I think my job is just to go out and play footy, and the coach and our medical staff will look after the physical well-being of all of our players.
What's your memories? You won here 3 years ago at Ellen Road. What's your memories of that? Kicked a lot of goals that night and won.
Bit of a change, a bit different at the grand final. It was a great night. It's been a few years since we've been over here, and I remember it was a really tough game. I remember that, and I started the match at halfback because Cooper Cronk had an injury and he stayed at home. We had a fair few injuries in that game, similar to what we have this year. But it was a very challenging match. Leeds are a great football side, and nothing changed on their part, and we know it's going to be tough again this year. But we've had a great attitude the whole trip. We've been here for a week already, and training's been great. Boys have really enjoyed the time we've had down south. But we moved up here. What was it, yesterday? And it's business time for us now. And we know that if we don't turn up with the right attitude on Friday night, then it's not going to happen for us. It's as simple as that. We're playing against a world-class football team with world-class players.
Gareth, you missed out 3 years ago. This must make you more keen to play.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I missed out there in 2010 and was very disappointed. But look to get the opportunity this year to play in front of a lot of friends and family. And like Cameron said before, it's going to be a really tough match. in many grand finals, played in many big games, but we're really looking forward to it.
Brian, we've got Stevie Ward back in contention. He came back and played on Friday night.
Is what, sorry?
Stevie Ward, good to have him back in contention.
Yeah, he had a good stint. He's played a couple of games in our 19s beforehand. And didn't look out of place. He had a good effect for us when he came on.
What do you think you are, Brian, compared to this time last year going into the Manly game? Do you think your preparation's been as good as it was going into that?
It is what it is. It is what it is. We're the 3 games prior to the game that we've had. Will give us what we've got. It's a funny one because whatever we do for the first 3 rounds, you could read good into it or you could read bad into it. So we know this Monday morning, it was always going to be about Melbourne Storm. So we could have lost the first 3 games. We'd turned that round into a positive, and this week was always going to be about Melbourne Storm. Or we could have won the first 3 games 80-0. But this week's always going to be about Melbourne Storm. So, I'd like to be a little bit better as a team, but then at the same time, we are where we are. I haven't answered that question, have I? What the hell are you talking about?
Any further questions?
Kevin, we've mentioned it's World Cup year already. Is this an early chance for England to get one over Australia? Do you think it will be a big boost in hosting the World Cup later on?
I think, like Cameron said earlier, this game's just got to take all our focus. I think what's to come is great and nice for you to dream about, but the reality is we've got to play well Friday.
Just confirm the capacity for Friday night's game was 20,400, and as of lunchtime today there was 100 tickets left, so expected to sell out by close business today. So there'll be 20,400 capacity for Friday night's game. We'll take the captains outside now for a photo and then available for one-to-one interviews. Thank you.
Yeah,